Welcome to Tech Talks with Paul. I want to talk today about vibe coding and some of the risks involved and how to stay safe out there. Now, I'm not opposed to vibe coding. I currently vibe code myself. I've been a coder for a very long time, but I also do some vibe coding to kind of just grind through some stuff, get prototypes out, MVPs, try out different methods. It's pretty interesting to be able to look at a technology or a concept to build something and then build two or three scenarios really quickly and see which one I like best or which one might have issues, to kind of vet out some concepts before I actually start building the actual project. I mean, as if anybody, vibe coders may not know, but there's a lot of different ways to build the exact same product based upon the tech stack you choose, different databases, different JavaScript frameworks, whatever it is that you're choosing. And so there's a lot of different ways to go about it. So for me, I find it really, really helpful to vibe code, in a sense, perhaps two or three different ways to build a project, at least as an MVP, to be able to test it out. So I'm not opposed to vibe coding. I'm actually kind of excited about it. But as a developer, there are things that we understand and we know and we've experienced that are security risks. Now, there's plenty of security risks with vibe coding, but there are two things that I see, maybe even three, that I see as being really, really, really high risk. One is the first that I see is there are a few sites out there that are having vibe coding repos. So you vibe code, which is, you work with AI and you build code real quick, and it may or may not be secure, kind of beside the point. And then there's some sites out there that allow you to upload that. And so other people can download your code or your tools or your utilities or whatever it is that you built. Now, that's actually really pretty cool to get out and share it. But the problem is that a scammer, somebody who is, out there distributing malware, could actually inject some of this. There's NPM packages. If you've been vibe coding, there's always this, NPM add some package that actually adds functionality. Or if you're using Python, you're adding packages that actually give you functionality. Well, there are some packages out there that are specifically built with malware in them. And so a scammer could create a repository with scam packages, upload it to a vibe coding site. You download it because you don't know what to look at, because you don't have the training, the skill set, or whatever to look at and understand that the naming isn't quite right on that package, or something just doesn't look right. That you just go ahead and do npm install or whatever it is that you're doing, and you end up installing malware. And that's like, even experienced coders have that issue. I've seen that multiple times where an experienced coder will just install a package because they found it on someone on one of the sites, one of the help sites, actually says install this. Well, it turns out that person's a scammer, and then you're installing some package that installs malware. The second is somebody could actually put exploit code directly in the source code itself, upload it to one of these sites, you download it, you use it, boom, you're infected. Just as easily as using a package. And a lot of vibe coders aren't necessarily going to know that you should take your code base and run it through AI to have it analyzed. And not even that's going to be perfect, but that's at least something better than just downloading, installing, and boom, off you go. And now you're completely infected. I find that to be very scary, and I think vibe coders are going to end up with a lot of malware because of these kind of things. And then the third way was something that happened to me recently. Was yesterday, that I got someone on LinkedIn that it was a person. It was someone who was from America. They were American. They were an older person. They had a tech background. They had worked for this company for 2 or 3 years. The company seemed legit. That they contacted me and said, "Hey, I saw your information. I would love to have you work for us. We have a bunch of stuff that needs done. $125 to $150 an hour, 20 to 30 hours a week, blah, blah, blah. And we talked a little bit. And it quickly became apparent that this person was not who they said they were. And so what they did was they said, okay, so what we need to do is I will send you a code repository. I will send you some code. You install that code and fix the couple bugs, send it back to us, we'll review, and if you did a good job, we'll hire you. Now, that right there has gotten more programmers infected than a lot of other things out there, because it's exciting to think that you might have a pretty good cake job just doing some coding for $125, $150 an hour, 20, 30 hours a week, all remote. It sounds like a great opportunity. Problem is, that code work has exploits in it, and they're getting you to install the exploits. Now, as a vibe coder, I can only imagine how excited you would be to get that kind of an offer. That would be super exciting to get an offer as a vibe coder. Well, come on, you can be a vibe coder. We support that, and we'll give you $100 an hour, 125, $150 an hour to vibe code. Like that's a dream job. I'd take that job. Problem is that it's a very common exploit. It's a very common attack vector. So there's things you can do to protect yourself in those cases. First, I said we need to have a video call. So I have face-to-face so that I can confirm that you're who you are. And this person said, well, no, how about next week I will have our hiring manager contact you. So now they want to have someone different contact me that I can't verify that person. I said, no, you have to be on the call. And they're like, no, that's not possible. I'm traveling, I'm whatever. So we'll have someone else contact you. And then their English became a little broken. They said a few things that were malformed English, just things in the wrong place. And so I kind of quickly realized that they were definitely not, a 60-year-old American guy. They were definitely, they were having trouble with English. Well, that was, nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm not accusing it, but I'm just saying it became apparent they were definitely not who they said they were. And so I quickly said, hey, I appreciate the offer. It's very nice, but I'm sure you could probably find other people that are more gullible and willing to install your malware. They were kind of not very happy with that, and they said they got their feelings hurt, more poor English, and then they blocked me. So I think it became very apparent that I was on to them. But the point is, as a vibe coder, you're stepping into an arena where you need to really consider your safety and security, and things that attack vectors that you've never been experienced, you've never experienced before, and that programmers, coders, have been. A lot of us have been exposed to them, and so I would like to have vibe coders at least be educated on these things, because I'd like to see them be safe. Don't want to see anybody get infected. Don't want to see anybody lose their money, their whatever. So if you have any other tips for vibe coders, or tips as a developer that you think that vibe coders should know, hell, or that other coders should know. This isn't just for vibe coders. This could be for new developers, or that just haven't experienced this before. But I think vibe coders is probably going to be the biggest pool of exploits here in the near future, because they're working with technology they don't fully understand, and they're going to be very vulnerable. So double check code work on sites that you're downloading it from. Double check your packages, and worry about anybody that's just offering you a job for lots of money just to do vibe coding. And whenever you have a chance to download code for a coding test that some company might give you, check out the repository. Make sure that it's not a new repository. Make sure it's an active repository. Make sure that it's been updated, that it's recent, that the developer who actually added it to GitHub or whatever is a good developer. I mean, has a lot of other projects out there. There's a lot of other code work out there. Isn't new. There's a lot of red flags here. Someone asked me the other day what my green flag for a project or a coder or a company is, and I said lack of red flags, because that's really where it's at. It's not just I look at something and I'm like, that's my green flag. No, I look at everything, and if there's no red flags, or very few, then that's my green flag, right? So it's all about making sure you stay safe out there. So if you have any questions, leave them in leave them in the comments below. If you'd like to have a one-on-one, just leave them in the comments below. You can actually go to westpaul.com or techtalkswithpaul.com and request a one-on-one meeting, and we can have a chat about it. Till next time, keep building awesome tech.